What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video here on this channel, Royal James. Today's video is gonna be really different, and I'm really excited of filming this because I'm here with my friend Celis from SweetNSpooky. What an honor to have you on my channel. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about our favorite horror remakes. It's gonna be a top 10. So I'm gonna say my 5 favorites, and she's gonna say her 5 favorites. So Celis, do you wanna say hi?
Yes. Hey, I'm Celeste from SweetNSpooky. If you don't know me, come join my spooky little family. So number 5 for me is going to be the Carrie remake from 2013. This is directed by Kimberly Pierce and has Chloe Grace Moretz, Julianne Moore. And I think that a lot of people didn't like this movie, but I liked this movie. I think Chloe Grace Moretz was meant to play Carrie.
My number 5 will be the Ring remake from 2002. I think I love this remake because it gives so much respect to the Japanese version, and I think Naomi Watts, she does a perfect job. And I think Samara, early 2000s, is an icon. It's a horror icon, and I actually feel scared watching this, so that's why it's on number 5.
Number 4 for me is going to be The Invisible Man from 2020. But this stars Elizabeth Moss, and it also has the guy from The Haunting of Hill House, Oliver Jackson Cohen, and they did a great job. And I think that movie was really good. It scared me. It gave me anxiety. It made me nervous for her. And the acting is just so good. I like that one a lot.
For me, number 4, it's gonna be a really surprise for everyone because I know this is a guilty pleasure for so many people. But for me, number 4 is House of Wax from 2005. And the cast from this movie, they were all new, like in Hollywood, or like doing movies in the cinema. And I just loved how they managed to create like the Wax Museum, the Wax people. I just loved the cast, how the movie turned out, the villains, the story between the villains.
Number 3 for me is going to be Funny Games from 2007, which is directed by the same guy who did the original one. And Michael Pitt and Naomi Watts are amazing in this movie. Yeah. And also, like, this movie is very disturbing, but it's really good.
Like, it's really disturbing from being like 2007, from that era was really good. So my number 3, It from 2017. Now, part 1. Let's don't talk about part 2. So part 1, part 1. I loved that movie so much. I think what I loved about this movie is like the main performance from Bill Skarsgård. I hope I pronounced that well because like he was made for this role, and also the kids, they did an amazing job. I was like so surprised on how they made it, and I'm really like not sad, like disappointed. Part 2 didn't make like, how can I say, justice to this movie, but it's a good remake, the 2017 one.
I'm gonna agree. I think part 2 was like more funny than scary, and I don't know if that was on purpose.
I don't know if it was. I don't know if it's for me, but it was way too long, like 3 hours. Like
it was, and also some of the CGI looked funny.
Yeah, I remember I was watching this like with my best friend, and after 2 hours and a half, she was like, "Can we stop watching this? Because I'm so tired." And I was like, "Okay, it's fine." Like, number 2 for you. This is really exciting because number 2 and number 1 are always the hardest to choose.
Oh my god, that's so true. Number 2 for me is The Evil Dead 2013 remake, directed by Fede Alvarez. I think that this was one of the best remakes ever made. I think Jane Levy did an amazing job as our lead actress. Yes, we praise the queen. Just everything about it was really good, and like it was really gory. Yeah. It was really good. It
Sorry.
really surprised me. I thought it was going to be so bad. I was like, oh, we have to watch a remake of this great movie. It's probably going to be terrible. And then I left like, wow, this was really good.
I think what I loved about this movie is like it knew how to combine comedy and horror. If that
Yeah.
makes, it was so funny to watch, but they were doing like this on purpose. Like they were doing the comedy on purpose. So it was
Oh,
so
yeah.
like I love this movie. I think the performance is beautiful. The kills are great. My number two is not a secret for anyone. I love this franchise. Like this is one of my favorite horror franchise of all time. So the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 2003, like that remake is one of the best remakes ever made. Like period. In my opinion, I'm quite biased here, but I just loved like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like the first movie is not a secret for anyone. That is so disturbing. Like even without showing gore or without showing like massive kills, you still feel bad for the cast, and it's so psychological. And this remake gave us what we wanted to see at the original one, which was gory stuff, like more like chase scenes from Leatherface to
Wait, I have a question for you. Did you
yeah.
like the Texas Chainsaw 3D?
I hated that movie.
Okay, good, good, good.
Because I was like, when I talk people about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I of course because the 3D is in that franchise, I have to watch it when I do like a marathon or whatever. But I think it's one of the worst movies ever made. Like, what
It's
was the
pretty.
point? Come to the end. So you're number one.
Oh my gosh, my number one is to no surprise if you watch my channel. It is It Part One, which is directed by Andy Muschietti and stars Bill Skarsgård and like a million other people. This like has so many people in the cast.
I know.
um, but yeah, I think that that movie is perfect, and like the same thing that you were saying, Bill Skarsgård was meant to be Pennywise. He did such a good job, and I love Stephen King, so.
So my number one, my number one, and my favorite remake in horror history of all time. And this movie is my favorite horror movie of all time. So it's like in two in one. Friday the 13th, 2009, the remake. I have so many things to say about this movie. Like, I don't have anything bad to say about this movie. I'm so biased in this. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I just love, like, this movie gave, like, so much respect and it gave so much justice to the original Friday the 13th movies. It has the scariest Jason. The photography is amazing. The performance is amazing. Like it's so funny to see these teenagers getting drunk, making drugs, and just uh, getting killed by Jason. And the experience that I had with this movie is so different because it's the first movie that I watched at the cinemas when it comes to horror.
Well, I really like that movie because when it came out, I was obsessed with Supernatural, and Jared
Oh,
Padalecki from Supernatural's in it. So I was like, "Oh my God, it's like everything I need." And but I really love that one. I have it on DVD as well.
all right, people. So that was it. That was our top 10 favorites horror remakes of all time in our opinions. So let us know in the comments which are your favorite horror remakes. We might agree on some, we might disagree on some, but that's what I like about the horror community. That we like some things and we don't like some things. We just have to respect, and that would be so fine. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, to her channel, SweetNSpooky. Give a like, leave a comment, and you know what to do, right? And we will see you on the next video. Bye bye.
Bye.